Today I want to talk to you about something most people never do before they give to a nonprofit, and that is research. Because the truth is, nonprofits may be called charities, but they operate as businesses. If the numbers don't line up, if the mission doesn't hold water, then it doesn't matter how glossy the brochures look. Here's where I start. The IRS Form 990. If a nonprofit makes less than $50,000 in revenue, they have to file a simple 990 postcard, which doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Once they're bigger, up to about $200,000 in revenue, they can file a 990 easy. Anything above that, they file the full 990, and that's where the real story starts to show up. First thing I look for is the revenue and expenses. If a nonprofit is running a deficit year after year, that's not always a scandal, but it's worth asking why. Sometimes they're investing reserves into growth, other times it's poor planning. The point is, you want to see a sustainable financial picture, not just a slow bleed. Next is leadership pay. High salaries by themselves don't mean corruption. The IRS does require nonprofits to compare executive compensation to similar organizations. But if you see a top-heavy payroll while programs starve, that's a red flag, and priorities do matter. Now, let's talk about the mission. If a mission statement is nothing but raising awareness, right, raising awareness, I stop and I ask, awareness for what? For some groups, public health, advocacy, conservation, awareness actually does work. But if awareness is just a placeholder for real outcomes, donors do deserve better. Nonprofits exist to solve problems. Sometimes that means chipping away for decades at issues that won't ever be completely finished. But the focus should always be the impact, not survival for survival's sake. I've seen it firsthand. Agencies ask us to teach them what we do, not because they care about the people we serve, but because they see a new grant stream to chase. And that's not service, that's opportunism. Another tool I use is fundraising ratios. If you spend $17,000 on a gala and only net $3,000 after cost, that's a weak return. But fundraising isn't just about math. It can also build community and donor relationships. Still, efficiency does matter. Take our annual fitness fundraiser, Operation Sisu. We put in $1,500 and we raised $6,000. That's a 4-to-1 return. That's impact that you can actually measure. And here's the truth. Giving to a nonprofit isn't just about writing a check. That's 1/3 of the job. The other 2/3 is doing your homework, making sure your dollars are going to work on solutions, not just to subsidize overhead without the results. We are a platinum-rated organization for our transparency, and as we grow, we'll have Charity Navigator rating too. But let me be clear, badges and ratings aren't the whole story. I've seen nonprofits with high ratings that are still $500,000 in the red. Numbers without context don't build trust. And when trust breaks, everybody pays for it, especially the people who need the help in the first place. So if you take anything from this, take this. Your generosity matters, but where you put it matters more. Demand transparency, ask the hard questions, look at the numbers. The best nonprofits put people over profit, and they measure success by lives changed, not how long they can stretch the problem out. That's how we do it here at the Two Black Ravens Foundation. That's why we exist, to serve people, not ourselves, to fight for solutions, not for survival. Thanks.